The emotional struggles of five legendary composers. People have always been fascinated by the lives of geniuses, especially young people. But did you know that even five of the world's most famous composers struggled with serious emotional and psychological challenges? Note, these are not definitive medical diagnoses. They are interpretations and hypotheses based on historical letters, behaviors, and reports. 1. Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven, whose name is known worldwide, was born into a troubled family in Bonn, Germany. His father, a strict and sometimes abusive musician, forced him into intense practice from childhood. In his teens, he moved to Vienna and studied under Haydn. From a young age, he began losing his hearing and eventually became completely deaf. Despite this, he created masterpieces like Symphony No. 5 and No. 9. He remained a deeply dedicated, solitary, and driven individual until the end of his life. Emotional struggles reported severe depression, especially after losing his hearing. Some historians suggest he may have had bipolar disorder due to his mood swings, anxiety, and obsessive tendencies, particularly around his music. 2. Johann Sebastian Bach. Bach was born into a family full of musicians and immersed in music from a young age. He faced a difficult adolescence after losing his parents early. He spent most of his life as a performer, composer, and music teacher in churches. He had a relatively stable family life and fathered over 20 children, though many died young. Emotional struggles suggested by researchers, possible periodic depression due to the early deaths of his first wife and several children. Intense perfectionism visible in his work. Overall, Bach is generally described as more balanced compared to many of his contemporaries. 3. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart was a prodigy who played music from the age of 3 and traveled across countries as a child to showcase his talent. He remained highly productive into adulthood, but constantly struggled with financial difficulties. He is described as cheerful, playful, and sometimes childlike. He died young, at the age of 35. Emotional challenges suggested intense mood swings. Some suggest a mild form of bipolar disorder. Chronic anxiety and stress due to financial and work pressures. Extremely high emotional sensitivity reflected in his letters and compositions. No formal historical diagnoses exist. These are behavioral analyses based on historical evidence. 4. Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky was born into a middle-class family. He initially studied law and worked as a government clerk, but later pursued music professionally. He was highly sensitive and introverted. A failed marriage, social pressures, and personal identity struggles caused him significant emotional pain. Many of the world's most emotional masterpieces resulted from these inner conflicts. Emotional struggles reported severe, long-term depression, social anxiety, nervous attacks, and signs of generalized anxiety disorder. Occasionally wrote about self-destructive thoughts in letters. Tchaikovsky is remembered as one of the most emotionally sensitive artists in history. 5. Franz Schubert. Schubert came from a simple, religious family and began music at a young age, showing extraordinary talent in melody. He faced severe financial hardship, and many of his works were not recognized during his lifetime. Close friends describe him as calm and quiet. He died young, at the age of 31. Emotional struggles reported periodic depression, especially in his later years. Chronic loneliness and feelings of worthlessness reflected in his letters and compositions. Some sources suggest dependent personality disorder or severe depression. In the end, these legendary composers were more than icons. They were human, fragile, imperfect, and fighting silent battles no one could see. But instead of breaking, they transform their pain into melodies that still echo across centuries. Their struggles didn't make them weak, they made them real. And maybe that's the greatest message they left us, that even the darkest moments can become something breathtaking if we dare to create. Genius isn't about being perfect, it's about turning your story, every part of it, into something that lasts forever.